So today I'm going to be heading out for another small hike. It's about 45 degrees. Feels like 37 out though. This is the new setup that I'm going to be using. As you may have noticed in my other videos, you heard some clicking sounds, sound like something rattling. That was actually caused by the light because it doesn't secure down too well. So it kind of rattles back and forth. Also the hand grip clicks as well. And one of the other things you may have also noticed is, even though the GoPro has great external mics on it, the problem with the wind, you will actually get like an underwater type sound or a howling type sound, which is really not that great on windy days. Although on very calm days where there is no wind, the mics are great on it as far as the internal mics. So what I got today is I've got the Rhode Wireless Go system set up. I just got my GoPro adapter that just came in so that I can hook up an external mic to my GoPro, and then I've got the receiver end of the Wireless Go up there. Looks a little janky right now because I'm using rubber bands to hold it all together. I do have the Ulanzi GoPro cage with the mic holder on order. It's supposed to be here in a couple days, so I'll make this setup a lot cleaner. This is going to be the lavalier end of it. And with the wind muff, the one thing I don't like about the wind muff on these is the way they're designed. They actually fall off very, very easily. They don't clip too well, so I've got a rubber band kind of holding that on for right now, which I'm going to clip to myself. So hopefully this is going to eliminate the wind noise. Hopefully also it's going to eliminate the clicking noise from the handle and also from the light, the way the light rattles around. One thing I do like about the light though, which is kind of hard to see on this setup, is the fact that it has 3 cold shoe mounts. So once I get the new cage in that will actually house the mic adapter, I'm going to have these 3 exposed. So I can actually have the receiver on the wireless off to the side, and then also I can actually have the Rode Video Micro on top if I want to record any ambient sounds. I apologize if this gets a little bit bumpy, but we're up here at the entrance of Buck Hill. Good part about it is the road does look like it has been graded since the last time I've been up through here. There were a lot of washout areas that I kind of had to navigate around. So even though we got heavy rain yesterday, looks like the road is still in good shape. We'll be coming up here on the parking lot in a little bit, and as I can see, there is only 1 car in the parking lot, so looks like I might pretty much have the trail to myself today. Alrighty, so we're up here in Buck Hill, and I hope the wireless micro Go that I'm talking on is actually picking up some good audio. I'm talking at a normal voice. I did go ahead and put my orange vest on since there is 1 person up here today, and also I switched over to my winter cap because it's a little bit higher elevation and the wind is kind of blowing. So I'm going to check the audio really quick. Looks like it's not peaking out, so that looks good. I'm going to take this trail that cuts up through a couple of pheasant fields, and then it's going to hook up to the main road. Wearing sneakers today, not boots, only because of the fact that my boots are not padded at all. I'll look into some boots with some better padding, but hoping I don't regret it and it's not that muddy, although as you can see down here, it is kind of muddy. A little bit of a swampy area there. Sometimes some ducks are in there during the summer, but this is the other way to take. The hill's a little bit steeper, but also at the same time it's also shorter and not as long as the hill as the other one, and it takes you up to a couple other pheasant fields. Mostly I'm checking out this place because of the fact I used to hunt up here about 30 years ago, and I just want to see what the scenery's like, and also with the higher elevation, be able to test the microphones out. Not hearing any birds, so I don't know if I'm going to switch over to the Video Micro mic. There's not really any ambient sounds, but one of the things I'm noticing up through here already is that the trail system has changed. I was following the trail that went down that way and noticed that it does not loop back up around to the field like it used to. They've changed a couple of the trails up through here, so I'm following this one, which will take me up to the top of the hill. I think this might have been the original trail that we took to get up to the first field, though like I said, a lot has changed up here. So we're going to keep continuing up this way and seeing if this is where I need to go or not. Kind of watching the audio as I go along, make sure I don't peek out. These are all new trails. These here weren't here 30 years ago. This is all new. One thing I forgot to mention while out here in the woods is kind of be careful this time of year, end of January, beginning of February. It's actually coyote mating season. So if there's any coyotes around, they're going to be a little bit more aggressive this time of year. So you want to be careful of that, which is why I got my knife. And there's some people coming up. So I met up with some other hikers, hiking with their dog, just enjoying the day out. Coming up to the main road up here, and one of the things I decided to do was to go ahead and turn the wireless connection off on the GoPro. I remember somewhere saying that these settings actually made it so that your microphone had a lot of cracking if there was a wireless connection turned on and it was interfering with the other mic. So since nothing wireless out here, I just went ahead and turned it off. As you can see, we're up to the main road. Wind's picked up a little bit, so we'll see if the wind muff's making a difference. Still got a little bit of snow on the road. Probably should have worn my hiking boots because it is a little bit muddy, but like I said, they don't have padding and I just don't want my feet hurting, so I'm trying to stay out of the wet areas as much as possible. During the summertime though, this is all grass, so it'd be a lot of ticks, so I'm glad I'm coming up here through the winter. Pretty much at the higher elevation now. I'm gonna continue on this road, show you some of the pheasant hunting fields when we get up to them. So they say the range of the microphone is about 270 feet, and you really need to maintain that line of sight, otherwise the audio cuts out. But especially if you have your back turned. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk down to, so let me get in the line of sight for a minute. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to walk down to that fallen log down there and see if the audio can pick up. That's actually probably much further than I would actually talk with an external microphone and the GoPro, because from the GoPro angle I'll be pretty far off anyway. But let's go down and test it out. Because I got my back turned, is probably the audio is cutting out now a little bit from what other YouTube videos have said. That's one thing I hate about wintertime. New England is that cold air, colder air gets in my lungs. And then we're having raining. Also yesterday. So I'm gonna go back. Hopefully he's recording. So we're back at the log again, quite a distance away, talking out my normal voice. Don't know if you can hear the wind or not. Hopefully the camera stays recording this time. But this is probably about the furthest I would ever go from the GoPro. Probably even further than normal because, you know, I get kind of small, but hopefully it'll make for some more environmental shots out on my hikes. So we're walking back up. One thing to be interesting is to see if the audio cut out at all walking down to that log, because I had my back to the receiver and I lost that line of sight. And we'll see how good the wind muff does with the elastics. So walking up on the camera now, hopefully it's still recording. Otherwise I'm really gonna have to check for some firmware updates. All right, this time it looked like it still stayed recording. Good. As you can see by this circular field right here, because of that rock pile and that rock pile in the distance, somebody had said that this actually used to be a home site back before this became management lands, back probably in the 1800s. That's why it's all circled out like this. Show you a couple things on why some people say this used to be a home site is because of how uneven it is there. And you actually got some flat stones throughout here, which could have indicated possibly a home area. You got some more flat stones over there. One thing about Barterville is Barterville used to be a metropolis with textile mills, horse racing, casinos, back in the textile days. So whether or not this was a home site before it became state management land, we're unsure about, although a lot of state management land does have cellar holes and foundations. Again, there's another flat stone here, which could possibly indicate that there may have been a home site back here. Another rock pile here. Although, other than the way that rock pile, you got some stones there, that rock pile, and some flat stones there, and this odd tree kind of left in the middle, not really sure, but I don't know, just kind of interesting. I'm really hoping the rain holds out because it's getting cloudy and the sky is looking pretty dark. It's not supposed to rain at all. That's another trail that takes you down to the lake, but my plan is if the rain holds out, I'm gonna go up to the Massachusetts border where the marker is, and then I'm gonna cut down the trail that runs along the side of the lake if it's still there. All right, so I had my first test of how durable the setup is actually gonna be. One of the things I was afraid of was about how strong these clips were. When I took off my backpack, the wireless mic pot actually came flying off and fell on the ground, but all appears to still be working, so that's a good sign. Now, the wind has picked up, so this is going to be a good test in this area. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the wind at all. Let me just show you on that tree over there and over there. So the wind has really picked up and it feels like it's starting to drizzle. Hope I don't get caught out in the rain because this setup is not waterproof. Hope my backpack's waterproof, but this setup is not waterproof with the door off of it, and these mics are not waterproof. Down there was to a lower field. If you continue down that way, you will hit the Connecticut border. So I'm kind of like where the tri-state area of Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island does come together. Got a feeling I'm really pushing it today, trying to get to the Massachusetts border marker without getting caught in the rain. I'm gonna have to check my phone to see if there's any rain moving in, but it wasn't supposed to be for the rest of the day. But yet it feels like it's starting to sprinkle a bit, so hopefully we'll stay dry. Alright, so that's one of the things I was afraid is going to happen with that clip. It actually fell off from me. That's one of the things I was afraid was going to happen. What was I saying? Oh yeah. As I made it up to close to the Massachusetts border, it actually started sleeting. Hopefully this doesn't keep up and it just passes. I don't know how well that's picking up the sound of the sleet coming down. But we're almost up to the Massachusetts border. One of the things I'm glad is it's actually sleet and not rain, because I don't want to get soaked out here. But anyway, so one of the things I found out is you've really got to watch these receivers. It appears that I lost mine back on the trail back there. Had to go back and get it. Luckily I found it because it is black and it was sitting on black soil. And luckily it was on the main road and not in the woods. So Probably gonna have to think twice about where I clip this and how I secure it on to me. But clips are pretty strong, but they're not exactly too strong, so something I'm gonna have to watch out for. So this part right here used to be the main area that used to be able to get pheasants in. It was great for pheasant hunting because on the right hand side you got one smaller field there, you got a smaller field there, and you got a bigger field over there that runs up that way. And on this side of the road, well, you can see that yellow through is actually 2 fields in itself. So this used to be one of the most heavily stocked areas. So this is the longer of the 3 fields. We used to start off in the lower field, cut up through this field, and then work our way back through this field. All right, so we're gonna go across to this field now. All right, so you got that field there. Oh, take a look at this ant pile. Wow. That is one huge ant mound. Now that I remember, these 2 fields did used to have huge ant mounds in them a long time ago. And you have this field up through here. At one time they used to number these fields, as you can see by that board on that tree, but they don't number them anymore. Cool thing about these fields, although I don't really see them anymore, is that center row of trees. There used to be apple trees growing up through there, so which made for some good deer hunting and also to get a snack. But that's 30 years ago. They're probably all dead by now. So far, I haven't encountered any wildlife today. Haven't kicked up any pheasants, haven't seen any deer. Maybe the weather's just not right. Maybe there's been a lot of hunters up through here, a lot of hikers up through here. But yeah, there's been no wildlife at all. All right, continuing on to the Massachusetts border. Alrighty, so we're at the crossroads. Down that way, over there, will take you to Connecticut, the Connecticut borderline. This will begin to loop back around, head up to the Massachusetts border, and then loop back around to Wallam Lake area. But we're not going to head to Wallam Lake. We're going to take a trail that goes down on the side of the lake. We got about an hour and a half left before it gets dark, so trying to make some time going through here. Although it's getting up into this pine area, tells me that we're almost up to the trail. That'll take us up to the Massachusetts border marker. Alrighty, so I just met up with another hiker. He said it that way. He actually came in through the Massachusetts end. He's actually getting ready to do the Appalachian Trail. Now, he doesn't have a YouTube channel, because otherwise I would ask him what his YouTube channel was, but he doesn't have one. He's actually said he saw mine too, so he's going to start following as far as my hikes go up through here as he trains and hikes these woods. And actually, I met up with him 2 weekends ago when it was 70 degrees out. He was actually coming out of the George Washington Trail, and he's the one who actually told me I should use my trekking poles because it's so muddy. But this is what I want to show you. We're up here at the marker. This is where the Midstate Trail comes through. That'll actually take you down to Connecticut that way. Wallam Lake Park, where he actually came in through the state park, is actually through that way. So we're on the Massachusetts Rhode Island border right now. We're also at the start of the north-south trail, which goes down that way. So if you were to hike the north-south trail, which the Bowdish Reservoir Trail that I did, the Walkabout Trail, actually runs
with the North-South Trail for some point, but it's 78 miles down to the ocean, which is down in the Charleston area, which is where it starts. So the trail system I'm on today is the North-South Trail. I got the Midstate Trail, which runs up through that way, and then the trail that I came off of to go up to the Massachusetts border was the Black Mountain Trail and Buck Hill Trail, and this takes you out further in Massachusetts. But one thing the guy didn't realize, we were talking about the same marker. This used to be a pillar which stood about almost as high as the unauthorized vehicle sign. Looks like they cut it to make a bench. But as you can see, it says Midstate Trail, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire. Now, he says the reason why this is marked as such is because it actually starts in New Hampshire and ends down in Rhode Island. Other people have gotten confused because of the fact that Rhode Island is on the Rhode Island side, but where it says New Hampshire, that's actually Massachusetts. So they got a little confusing about, their bearings out here. So just to clear it up, we're on the Rhode Island, Massachusetts border. But that's the marker. Now, I'm going to go ahead, continue back down where I was, doing the Buck Hill Trail. Going to find the trail that actually runs by the lake, and I'm going to take that way back. I've only got about an hour before it gets dark, so I want to be out of these woods before it gets dark. But we did make it up to where I wanted to make it up to today, and we're going to continue on down. All right, so I want to show you this real quick. Unfortunately, not allowed to metal detect up through here, but this would be something I thought would be pretty cool to metal detect. Look at this stone cellar. It's a little weird that you got that in the middle also. That's pretty cool. Just out here in the middle of the woods. Okay, so trail that takes me back down towards the lake is supposed to be around here somewhere, but just want to show you some of the stone walls, and across from that cellar hole we got what looks like another one up through here. So there's a lot of old homesteads up through here, but unfortunately you're not allowed to metal detect. So you got that wall there, which is pretty cool. And then over here, looks like you got another little cellar hole. There are more walls that go up through there. And I'm just gonna come back here a little bit. And that's what the other side looks like. Possibly another stone cellar over there, and possibly another one over through there. Love to metal detect this area, try to find some history, but unfortunately it is illegal, and the DM will find you heavily for metal detecting out here. Alrighty, so I only got about half an hour daylight left. Kind of double timing back on the yellow trail, which is the trail I want to take back anyways to go down by the lake, but this is a trail I wish I really would have took my trekking poles. As you can see, it's a lot of up-down terrain. It's a lot of mud, a lot of water, a lot of rocks, which is almost making this difficult to get through. A lot of water, a lot of rocks, a lot of mud, a lot of everything to be trekking through. Well, as you can see, it's getting dark. Don't know how well camera is picking it up, but down through there you can start seeing the water, which means I'm coming up on the side of Buck Hill Pond, which I featured in my beautiful areas of Burrville. This is the back side of it though. Alrighty, so we're at the back side of the pond, and again it'll be interesting to see how this microphone does because it's very windy. Out there they got a birdhouse for wood ducks to nest in. Pond's frozen right now, but I will try fishing this in the summertime. One thing I was told about this pond though is do not use any of my favorite lures in it. And reason being is, as you can see, it's all full of stumps. So he will get broken off that way. I also heard that this pond is actually overrun with chain pickerel. That's pretty much the main fish that's in here. Don't know if there's any pike in here, but the chain pickerel will also break you off. So it's been a good hike. We're almost back down to the road that takes me to my car, so I don't have to double time as fast out of here, but if I want to be at my car before dark, I still got to keep up a little bit of the pace. So I'm going to head back on the trail, which will take me out to the main road. But I do want to give an update. This is one GoPro battery, so I was pretty much happy with that. My other two batteries are charged. Didn't know if I'd be able to make a full hike on one battery. And the wireless setup, like I said, it would be interesting to see how the audio is. I'm still trying to learn to talk in my inside voice without shouting at the GoPro. But it looks like I still got half a battery left according to the indicator. So they say it's rated for a 7-hour battery. So let's see, I left the house at about, well, I charged it 2 days ago. Left the house at about 1:30. It's now almost 4. So by the time I get back to the car, it'll be about 3.5 hours. So yeah, that sounds about right, about 7 hours. And it was interesting because I wanted to leave the mics on, so I wouldn't have to keep turning on and off the GoPro and on and off the mics. So this tells me that I can pretty much go ahead with leaving the mics on and just turning on and off the GoPro as needed. Here's a nice open area view of the pond. As you can see, it goes way back there. There's a good gust of wind. So we made it back to the car before dark. Don't know how well the GoPro is going to pick this up, but it looks like it was a beautiful sunset tonight. Checking the stats. Still got 21% on the GoPro battery, so that's not bad. The Wireless Go, looks like the status is about half, so considering that it's been on for the last, let's see, left the house, got here about 1:30 in the afternoon, and it's now almost 5 o'clock. That's 3.5 hours, so that's not bad for a lithium battery. 3.5 hours to be halfway done. Really impressed. Hopefully the audio sounds good. When we started this hike, it was 45 degrees with a feels like temperature of 37. Right now it's 37 degrees with a feel like temperature of 31. So even though we've dropped 10 degrees since the start of the hike, the feels like has only dropped down 5 degrees, and that's in Fahrenheit for all you international watchers. Show you what I did for the hike. Go to my All Trails map. So the All Trails map did the Buck Hill Trail, and the All Trails map is great for planning. It's great for getting a reference point to see where you are. Now, I'm not sponsored by them at all. They did not contact me at all, but I've heard about this app and I've been using it. So if I go into the view full map mode, you can see the blue dot is where I'm at. It gives you all the trails in the area. So if I zoom in, and hopefully you can all see this, but that blue dot down there is where we started out. We went up the red, up here to Star Road. Then I cut across over this way and took this area right up in here, which brought me up to the marker that I was talking about. And then to make some time back, this trail that cuts down through here is the yellow trail. Otherwise, I could have gone and circled around this way. If I would have kept going up through this way, I would have went up more into Massachusetts along the border and come down by Wallam Lake. And the guy that I met up with, which he said his trail name is Dirty Water, because he says he's absolutely useless on the trail because he doesn't talk. He continued up this way, and then once he got to the crossroad, he cut across back to the state park area, which is Douglas State Park and the boat launch, which is a really nice area. He said that's his favorite place to park and to hike in, so I may try that one in the future. But I think I probably got a good setup working, a more compact, better audio. Like I said, I'm still kind of looking for a mirrorless camera, but not sure what I'm going to get. My DSLRs are just getting way too big and cumbersome for the type of hiking I do, especially now that I don't have a photography business anymore, as far as doing events, portraits, real estate, or whatever. I just sell them the pictures that I take on products. So check that out up. If you go to my links, you'll have my website up there. But yeah, I think probably the GoPro with the wireless setup is going to be my best bet for now. So I can find a mirrorless camera for actually taking pictures, something a little bit lightweight. So I'm gonna head on home. Hopefully this audio works out. I'm gonna check out the audio. We'll see you back outdoors in the next video. Not sure what I'm gonna have planned. It's still in the middle of winter. Like I said, we had a nice 45-degree day today. New England, it's a little bit tough being in the middle of winter because you never know. You can get snow, you can get 45-degree days. We had 70-degree days. Today, was a little bit iffy. I thought we were going to get thunderstorms by how dark the sky got. And then it started sleeting. But then it dried out. So we're going to head home and I'll see you outdoors. So I just got home, checked the audio from today's hike. I am really, really impressed with the capabilities of the Wireless Go. The audio came out great. Even when I thought I was peaking the audio levels, because it got up into the yellow, wasn't that loud. Was able to hear pretty good. When I did my distance test, yeah, like most people said, once you get far away from the actual transmitter and your back is turned, you do lose the line of sight. But as soon as I turned back around, it picked back up, so that's going to work out great. The only drawback that I found is, one, the clip. Don't know if I hit it or when it came off my pack and I reset it, I didn't set it back on my pack properly, and I lost the microphone and I had to go back and get it. So a little worried about that. Probably find some way to secure it down better. The other thing is, if you notice in the video, so the fact that I have asthma means that I am a heavy breather, especially when I'm hiking. So you could hear my breathing a lot. Need to do something to actually reposition the mic so it doesn't pick that up as much. I don't know if cutting down the audio gain is going to work on it because of the fact that I think I've got it set at the lowest already. I'm going to have to check more of the settings. But I think I'm going to have to reposition the mic somewhere because the breathing is really not nice to listen to. Although the mic does pick up pretty well. You could hear how loud that airplane was. You could hear how loud the water was. You could hear how loud the gunshots were in the distance. For the sakes of the video, so that it wasn't too loud, I did go ahead and turn down the audio a bit because I don't want this video blasting. But it did a really good job. I am very happy with the Wireless Go. Like I said, I am not being sponsored at all. I paid for it with my own money.
I was looking for something better to use for recording my videos, get better audio so that they're more enjoyable. I don't have to shout. I don't have that underwater. Matter of fact, I didn't even hear the wind today when the wind picked up. But it did pick up the noise of the sleet, so that made some nice ambient sounds. So really happy. Looks like it's going to be a good setup, and I'll see you all in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Comment if you will. I answer questions. I try to answer them to the best of my knowledge, try to get back to you quickly. But yeah, if you go ahead, comment, like this video, and subscribe, it really helps out my channel a lot as far as getting noticed. Still not at the level of being monetized yet, but that's okay. We're working on it. As soon as I can get this channel generating some more money, I'll be able to go out on more adventures and bring you more footage. But so far, like I said, I'm really liking the equipment, and I hope you like these videos. I'll see you outdoors next time. Don't know where I'm going to hike next time. I'm usually spur of the moment, but we'll see when I get there.